Russian choreographer Daniel Valieva, who works for Terry Tutbridge's staff, posted a video on his social media page showing how he identifies jumps performed by his students by the sound of the ice while standing with his back to the skaters. In the video, the jumps were performed by Adelia Petrosyan, Daria Sadkova, and Ina Kusnutdinova. The athletes demonstrated 4 jumps: a triple flip, a lutz, a loop, and a toe loop. Valieva was able to accurately identify 3 of them, excluding the flip. In February, Valieva's protege, 3-time Russian champion Adelia Petrosyan, will compete in the Olympic Games in Italy. She previously won a special qualifying tournament in Beijing. Alisa Dvoeglazova shared how she gave in to her emotions after performing her free skate at the 2026 Russian Championships. Dvoeglazova won the silver medal at the competition. During preparation, I held myself in check, kept my emotions in check, and generally kept a tight rein on myself. Then, there was just a surge of emotion. The free program was over. You could say the serious performances were over. There was an outpouring of emotion. And, of course, I wanted to skate a clean program. I knew I could, and I was probably a little upset about it. But overall, of course, I'm incredibly happy and delighted. When I was in the kiss and cry mode, I was waving my arms in joy. And then my emotions just started pouring out. I couldn't contain myself. It was mostly positive. Dvoeglazova said in an interview with AKO. The last Russian Championships was Dvoeglazova's debut at the senior level. To be honest, does silver represent a missed opportunity for you, or is it a wonderful result at your debut Russian Championships? For me, silver is definitely not a missed opportunity. For me, it's happiness. This is my debut Russian Championships, and honestly, I didn't expect this result. Maybe I didn't even count on a podium finish. Everyone probably had some expectations at the very beginning of the season, goals of finishing on the podium at the Grand Prix stages, and making the Russian national team. And right at the Russian Championships itself, even after the short program, I wasn't thinking about placing. I was thinking about the performances. I'm glad I managed to win silver. Dvoeglazova said. Olympic ice dancing medalist and renowned choreographer Ilya Averbik explained why he decided not to give figure skater Alisa Dvoeglazova a long fake nose for her role as Buratino. Alisa knows she's Buratino. You'll see it in a few minutes. We didn't agree 5 minutes ago that she would participate until before the Russian Championships. There was no talk of any rehearsals before the Russian Championships. Perhaps there was a misunderstanding. Alisa basks in this role. I didn't try to give her male choreography. She soars. I didn't give her a long nose. The mood and choreography themselves will do their job, and then it's the inner story. I'm sure there's no such Pinocchio. Championate correspondent Anastasia Matrasova reports Averbik as saying. Daria Sadkova, the silver medalist at last year's Russian figure skating championships, who finished 14th at the recent national championships, explained the reasons for her poor performance. Have you analyzed the situation with the coaches yet? What went wrong? What could be the possible cause? We analyze that it all stems from the training process. Throughout my life, my competitions and the results I achieved in them have been the result of my training. My performance in competitions is often the result of my training. The way I train is often the way I perform. It's an average. I just need to draw conclusions and adjust certain aspects of my training process. After Omsk, referring to the final round of the Russian Grand Prix in Omsk note, championship, I also twisted my ankle and didn't skate for 5 days. Then, of course, I had to gradually get back into it, but quickly, because the Russian Championships were just around the corner. This affected my preparation, my form. Perhaps that was also a factor. But overall, I was in good physical condition. At this point, no further tests are required. I'm simply doing everything I can to prevent further injury. I constantly wrap it in bandages or wear a special brace in my daily life, undergo physiotherapy, and apply ointments when necessary. I hope everything will be fine and that nothing will worsen the situation, Sadkova said in an interview with AKO. 1983 World Figure Skating Championships bronze medalist and now coach Elena Bayanova commented on Kamila Valieva's return to professional sport after her doping ban expired. Valieva is now officially eligible to return to competition. Her ban expired on December 25th. When an athlete has the desire, and since she's made a serious decision, I think such outstanding people don't disappear without a trace. Many say the level of the Russian championships has significantly improved. Will it fade into obscurity? We'll see. How can we even think like that now? I don't think so. She won't be forgotten. There are athletes, and then there are outstanding athletes. She's one of those. So she won't be forgotten. Will Kamila be able to regain her previous form in time for the next major competition? Time will tell. I hope we'll be there when that happens. Sport 24 quotes Valieva as saying, Olympic diving champion, 1976, and now sports journalist Elena Vitsekovskaya shared her opinion on whether figure skater Kamila Valieva will be able to return to her previous level after her suspension ends. Returning to the sport without the goal of winning again, that is, becoming another skater who failed, is definitely not an option for Kamila. Memories of her previous skating are too vivid in fans' memories. Therefore, it's worth thinking 1,000 times about whether it's worth undertaking such a venture without a guarantee of success. But what if the skater's intentions to retrace her athletic path are truly serious? It's becoming increasingly clear that there's a demand in women's single skating for mature athletes who can captivate audiences with their skating, not just their jumps. One can indirectly see Valieva's own influence in this. 4 years ago, even Alexandra Trusova's quads paled in comparison to her soaring quads. The world has long remembered Kamila's quads as a benchmark, a far cry from all the attempts we see now from a much younger generation of skaters. Ultra-C jumps are certainly necessary to compete for medals, but the term full package increasingly implies something else. And this something else could well become the 19-year-old athlete's trump card, her calling card. RT quotes Vitsekovskaya saying, Russian figure skater Alyona Leonova, silver medalist at the World Championships, spoke about the possibility of 19-year-old Kamila Valieva's return to high-level competition after serving her suspension. Do you think Valieva will be able to return to her previous level? I think she will, without a doubt, because I think she's already done so much for that, and she still has so much more to do. The main thing is that all the elements she's currently performing are included in the competition program. I think the most important thing now is to prepare well, so that her return is truly beautiful. Match TV quotes Leonova as saying, famous stylist and TV host Vladislav Lizovets criticized the style of two-time world figure skating champion Evgenia Medvedeva. He appeared in an interview with the athlete on her YouTube channel, Best Commentary, and stated that the athlete dresses and wears her hair like a grown-up Soviet woman. I watched your interviews today and couldn't decide whether to go or not. Although, honestly, I've never let anyone down in my life. The first thing I saw was, what kind of Soviet thing is this? That a TV presenter has to sit on camera like a Soviet woman, and then it's supposedly cool. Lizovets said in an interview on Evgenia's channel. Medvedeva is a two-time Olympic silver medalist, two-time world champion, world bronze medalist, two-time European champion and silver medalist, two-time Russian champion, and two-time Grand Prix final winner.